Welcome to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. Mr. Barber is a preacher, a ventriloquist, a barefoot runner, and writes 2 blogs. When Jerrie communicates, he encourages people, try not to learn very much. Find a mustard seed. In the next few minutes, try not to learn very much. Look for something you can do to move a mountain, remove a stumbling block, or provide a stepping stone for yourself or someone else. And now, here's Jerrie with this week's mustard seed.
A few weeks ago, a listener suggested occasional episodes of questions and answers. He contributed the first question. When we have enough questions for an episode, I plan to record it. Please send questions in the Send Me a Text Message or Ask a Question link in the show notes, or send me an email. Jerrie@barberclippings.com. That is Jerrie at barberclippings.com. Now, this episode, Investing in Exercise. Number 1. Financial advisors tell us the advantages of investing early. Compound interest works better over a long time. I think the same principles apply to exercise. Start early for greater benefits. If you haven't already started, start now. That's the earliest time you have. Paul commented on exercise in 1 Timothy 4:8. Physical exercise has some value, but spiritual exercise is valuable in every way because it promises life both for the present and for the future. What I'm saying in this and the next episode is a description and not a prescription. I'm telling my story and how it's been helpful to me. Try not to learn very much. Try to find a mustard seed that will be encouraging to you in your exercising. I started running in the summer of 1969. I'd been away from my work for 2 weeks. When I returned home, my dress pants wouldn't button. I decided it'd be cheaper to lose weight than to buy new clothes. I started running to help. I'd never run except for what football and basketball coaches made us do during practice. I read the book Aerobics by Kenneth Cooper. My mustard seed idea from that book: if you run more than 15 miles a week, you're not running those extra miles for your health. You can be healthy by running or walking 15 miles a week. I wanted to be healthy. My goal was 15 miles a week. And so, for 10 years, I ran if it wasn't too hot, too cold, too wet, too dry, and I felt like it. That means I ran some, but not consistently for my first decade of running. 2 things happened that changed my attitude. 1, Gail gave me a pair of Adidas running shoes for Christmas 1978. I've been running in Converse low-cut tennis shoes, a half size too big I bought on sale for $5. The new running shoes were great. 2, in the winter of 1979, I read the complete book of running by Jim Fixx. It changed my attitude. His enthusiasm for running came out of the pages. I'll put book links in the show notes if you're interested. As Jim discussed the importance of stretching by emphasis and illustrations, he added, I'll confess that when I'm in a hurry, I often neglect to stretch because I'd rather spend the time running. And again, remember that you're running not just for fitness, but for fun. Running is a vacation from everyday chores, a special treat for your mind and body. If you concentrate on the fun, the fitness and style will take care of themselves. During the winter, after I worked up to 15 miles a week, I set a goal of running 725 miles a year. That's 15 miles a week with 3 2/3 weeks off. Also started paying myself 40 cents a mile for running. I used the money to buy new suits and sport coats. Over the years, people ask me if I'm still running. I reply, I have to. If I didn't, I wouldn't have any clothes to wear. I started entering some 5K and 10K races. I've never been fast. I won my first trophy in 2007, 38 years after I started running. I came in second in the men's division of a 2-mile run. The other man beat me. In the fall of 2003, I stumbled across the non-runner's marathon trainer. I'd never considered running a marathon. All I wanted to do was stay in shape. I was healthy and felt great. But the title attracted me, the non-runner's marathon trainer. Non-runners? By this time, I've been running 34 years. If a non-runner can complete a marathon, I should be able to do it. I read the book, followed the instructions, and completed the 2004 Music City Marathon in Nashville, Tennessee. I ran it again in 2005 and 2006. On the reverse side of my dog tag with contact information in case of injury, there is this quote: "There may come a time in my life that I may not be able to run a marathon. There will be a lifetime knowing that I have." I've been consistent. I take off the week of family vacation in the summer. I read a great essay in one of my favorite running books, The Complete Runner's Day-by-Day Log and Calendar, saying that rest is as important as exercise. I finish my goal for the year by December 15 and take the last 2 weeks off from exercise. I look forward to January 1 for my first run of the year. In 1998, I got a cruiser bike. Always wanted to ride the Natchez Trace from Franklin, Tennessee to Alabama on a bike. When I started shopping for bikes, salesmen told me I couldn't ride a cruiser without gears for 100 miles. They said they weren't made for that. I asked about how far I could ride it. They said about 10 miles. I clarified, "Are you telling me I can ride this bike 10 miles? They replied in the affirmative. I said, "If I do that 10 times, I'll be in Alabama." During the next 4 years, a group of friends from Bears Chapel, where I was preaching, and I rode 100 miles on a Saturday, 8 different times. To reach my running goal for the year, I give myself credit for 1 mile running for every 4 miles on my bike. That was a thrill. We made it clear it wasn't a race. We had support for breakdowns and fatigue. People prepared lunch for us about halfway to our destination. A delicious evening meal was ready at the end. I found regular exercise pays compound interest. It may not be that people quit having fun when they get old, but people get old because they quit having fun.
Thank you for listening to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. If you found a mustard seed, send a text or email with the link to a friend. This podcast was brought to you by Gail Barber's book, Fleecy Clouds, One Woman's Story of Surviving and Thriving After Childhood Abuse, by Gail Champion Barber and Alice Sullivan. Gail writes in the introduction to her book, "I hope you find a blessing in this book that will add to your life and you can share with others. A difficult beginning didn't ruin the remainder of my life, and it doesn't need to ruin yours either." You can order your book from Amazon. There is a link in the show notes. Thank you for listening. Jerrie looks forward to next week as we continue to collect and plant mustard seeds.